Hi everybody, this is a birth announcement video for these Australian Labradoodle puppies. Hi, I'm Claire from Van Isle Labradoodles, and today we are going to introduce you to each of the Australian Labradoodle puppies in our Cloudy Skies litter. These puppies are just 24 hours old, and in today's video we're going to introduce you to each of the puppies, tell you a little bit about their color and pattern. This is a litter of 2 Sable Labradoodles. Sable is a very unique and not too common pattern in Australian Labradoodles. So we'll explain a little bit about that. We'll show you on the puppies and on their coats how we have some hints as to whether or not one of the puppies is a Sable or perhaps not a Sable, and why they would be or not be. And we'll also tell you a little bit about the birth experience. So as you can see here, we have 7 of these little medium-sized Labradoodle puppies, and they have a beautiful range of hues of different shades of brown here. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we actually introduce the puppies. But first of all, we'll tell you a little bit about Sora and the whole birth experience. So the first 2 puppies were actually born on April 14th, but the remaining 5 were born on April 15th. So we have given these puppies April 15th as their birth date. Now, how do we know when the puppies are about to arrive? Well, if you see right now, you see Sora's panting, and this is exactly what she would look like in the early stages of stage 1 labor. So right now she's panting because she has all these puppies up against her here. They're all nursing, and creating food for this many mouths is a lot of work for a girl. It's also 23 degrees in here because the puppies are not yet able to regulate their body temperature. So it's very important that the puppies remain warm and they aren't expending energy trying to keep themselves warm. By having that looked after, their bodies are able to concentrate on having them growing and developing, which of course is what you want with newborn babies. So Sora presented with this little bit of panting. Now, the other sign usually of girls starting their labor is that they dig. They dig everywhere. They are making a nest. They're trying to get ready for a place for their puppies to be born. So generally speaking, most girls go and they dig in all of their beds, and they have the cushions flying everywhere. They go in the closets, they kick all the shoes out, they move the clothes around in the closet on the curtain rods, and they generally go in our bed and kick all the pillows off of our bed, tear up the sheets, and just go crazy with digging. That's the most common behavior and the easiest way to know your girl's getting ready to have her puppies. Sora didn't do that. Sora dug maybe 2 or 3 times for a total of maybe 30 seconds. Digging was not part of her process. But what she did do was shiver. Now, this is not uncommon. It's not because she's nervous. It's not because she's cold. It's just the way her body is dealing with the change and all the hormones and preparing to have puppies. So during her pregnancy, Sora did quite a bit of shivering off and on. So that was a good sign that we were underway when it became more constant and consistent. So she was doing that throughout the day on the 14th. She was very quiet. She also refused to eat anything. Now, Sora was very difficult during her pregnancy to get to eat. She never really was too keen on that plan. But her personal chef Reynolds was making her a special ham and cheese omelet each day for lunch, and she never turned that down. But on the 14th, she didn't want to eat that, so we knew that the puppies were about to arrive within the next 24 hours. So of course, once you know the puppies are coming, there's lots of preparation that has to be done. We have our puppies in our bedroom because we're able to control the light in there. We can close the blinds. We have different types of lighting. And there's some new research coming out that tells us that a darker environment is more conducive to a mom delivering her puppies more quickly and more comfortably. Because if you think of it, that makes sense. Were they not being delivered with us, they would have dug a little nest somewhere outside that was completely covered and safe from predators, and that would have a naturally darker environment. So in the night, we do turn the lights on so we can see what's going on, but we do try to keep it as subtle in terms of lighting as possible. So Sora, we went to bed on the 14th and everything was fine. And then just around 11 o'clock at night, we could hear that she was moving around from bed to bed, and she was starting to dig things a little bit more seriously. Now we have the puppies in our bedroom because it's comfortable for the mom in terms of it's a familiar environment. She's been sleeping in there. We have our guardian dogs come a week before their due date, in part so that they become comfortable, know where they fit within the group of dogs that are here, but also so it gives us a full week to be able to watch and observe them, know their behavior. So when they give us something that's a little bit more subtle in terms of a sign that they're having puppies, we're able to recognize it more readily. So the puppies are born on the floor. We set up a whole series of towels and special hospital pads. We have a portable heater right next to that area, and then we have a cart full of items that we use during the delivery. So we help mom cut the umbilical cord if necessary. We help the puppies out of the sack if necessary. And because this was Sora's first litter, she wasn't entirely sure what was going on. You can imagine, you have no idea. It's not like someone can tell you that you're about to give birth and explain what that means. So for the first 3 puppies, she wasn't exactly clear what to do in terms of how to get the puppies out of the sack. She looked at them and she licked them, but mostly she was looking to me for help. So that's when we step in. Otherwise, we leave the girl alone and we let them do things as naturally as possible. We're there to help out. We're there if they ask for us to assist them, but otherwise we just leave them to do things on their own, which is always much better. So after the 3rd puppy, she was like, oh, okay, I get it. And then she was quite interested in taking them out of the sack. She was figuring out how to cut the cord, and she also knew that it was important to wash them. So having the mom lick the puppy is really important because that is a very important bonding process. If your girl is not licking the puppy, then there's something not right. But certainly Sora has no shortage of licking going on for her puppies. Indeed, she still right now often pushes them off of the milk bar because she is so determined that they must be licked spotlessly clean at all times. So now here we have all the puppies. They're learning the milk bar. You can see that little green collar back here. He's not up there at the milk bar. And we'll come in through the day, check on them, see if anything's going on, if anyone needs some help. See, you can see her there giving green collar his stimulation to go to the bathroom. The puppies aren't able to eliminate on their own. Mom does all of that by stimulating them with her tongue, and she does consume all of everything that they excrete. And the reason for that is to make sure there's no scent of puppies and to be sure that predators are not alerted to their presence. So they do that throughout the entire time they have the puppies, usually till they're about 4 to 5 weeks old when we start to wean them. Once we start to wean them, then the girls let us do the cleanup detail for them. They only stimulate them to go for the first about 3 weeks until their eyes and ears are open. At 3 weeks, a lot of things have changed and happened. Now you see Green here, he's attached, but he's not on an actual nipple. So I just moved him over there so that he could actually get some milk rather than just sucking on her skin, which doesn't provide too much nutrition. In any event, by 3 weeks, their ears and eyes will be opened and they'll be going to the bathroom on their own without her help. But you can see how she is very, very determined that they be cleaned, which is great, but sometimes not too handy if you're the puppy that's trying to get at the milk bar there. So we come in and we just make sure everybody's having a turn, that nobody's off by themselves. And of course, if the puppies are separated, they tend to make quite a racket. So we know when somebody needs help anyways. So Sora's doing really well in terms of her appetite now. Oh, such a complete 180 from when she was pregnant, when it was so difficult to get her to eat. Now she would eat pretty much 24/7. But during the first 24 hours after birth, we limit what she eats by about her normal amount of food without anything in extra. And then after the first 24 hours, she goes to the increased rations. And the reason for that is to help prevent post-whelp diarrhea. And because our dogs are all raw fed, they have a much easier time with that. The mums can consume the placentas without it upsetting their system because they're accustomed to eating a raw food diet. So now let's meet each of the puppies, the main star event of this whole video. So what we're going to do for all of our videos for your litter and for all our updates is we're going to do the puppies in birth order just to keep things fair all the time. So the firstborn puppy is right here. This is Yellow Collar. Yellow Collar, as you can see, is a goldeny kind of hue of the shade of brown. And you can see right down here on her back is a little bit darker than the tone of her body here. And if you look at her head, you will see as well that her ear's darker. Now, I'm going to see if Sora's comfortable with me picking the puppies up. If she is, great. If not, we'll put them back. There we go. Yeah, I know, we'll clean them. So now if you look at this little puppy, you'll see, oh, this puppy's a phantom. Because look at, we have the tan points here, we have tan points on the face, on the side of the face, and we have the tan point underneath the tail. And if we look at the chest, not so much. We don't really see the tan points. And most telling, in my experience, is the chits. Chits are your eyebrows. And you'll see over her eyes, there's no tan points. Those are the things that a phantom has. This little girl, I'm quite sure, is a chocolate sable. That's what Sora is, a chocolate sable. So Sora, who's the mom, is a chocolate sable, and Cloud, who's the dad, is a black sable. That's why we have brown and black puppies. So this little girl is going to change how she looks. Her face is definitely going to lighten up as time goes on. And she'll probably end up being about the same color as her mama Sora is. The sable color clears out is the word we use for it as breeders. And this little girl, she was born at 11/20, so she was actually born on April 14th, even though we're going to make April 15th her birthday. And she weighed 289 grams. That was a big first puppy. There we go. Thank you, Sora. Next was Orange Collar Girl, and we just have to find her. There we go. Can I just look for Orange Collar for a minute? There we go. I think she's right under here, right? This is her. There we go. There she is. So she's nursing. So we just very, 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 very gently take them off the nipple when they're nursing. Now this little Orange Collar Girl is definitely a sable, there's no question. You can see much more predominantly that she has that line down her back. And again, she's presenting with phantom-like markings right now. These are all going to disappear and she's going to become one color. She's not going to have these tan points like a phantom. Again, she has it at the side of her face, but she does not have it over her eyebrows or over her eyes. So this, along with this dark stripe on the back here, those are the biggest signs that you have a sable and not a phantom. This girl's a really cool color. It's kind of a bronzy brown. It's really pretty. She will continue, of course, to be very pretty, but it will change over time. And Miss Orange Collar was born at 11:47 p.m. and she was 222 grams. So that's Miss Orange Collar. Next we have Red Collar. Now Red Collar is probably the best example out of everybody of how you know you have a Sable. Come here, beauty queen. There we go. Now just look at the line down her back. You see that's very, very distinctive. And if you look at her from the front, again, you have what appear to be those tan points and phantom markings, but look at her nose, it's all black. And look at her ears, they're black. That is what Sable is. Sable is black tips and black banding on the base color. Hello, sweetheart. And again, nothing over the eyebrows. This girl is the darkest of the girls. Purple Collar is darker than she is again, but this is the darkest of the Sable girls. So does that mean that she's going to remain dark? No clue. That's the fun part about Sable, is every one of the puppies is unique, and every time the coat changes in an interesting and unique fashion. So Red Collar Girl was born at 12:16 a.m. and she was 282 grams. So the first puppy, Yellow Collar, was the biggest in the litter, followed very closely by Red Collar Girl. Here we go, sweetheart. Red Collar Girl is very forward to find places at the milk bar. She and Orange Collar. Now Light Blue was the next one, and that's Light Blue right here. Light Blue is a tiny little fellow. Now what color is he? I'm thinking he is probably not a Sable. He doesn't really have that line down his back. If you look at his face, he doesn't have any black markings or anything that seems particularly different. He doesn't have those tan points or anything, but I could be entirely wrong. But my guess is this is a chocolate Labradoodle and not a Sable Labradoodle. And Mr. Light Blue is the first of the boys. So we had 3 girls and then 4 boys, which is kind of interesting. I don't remember that happening before. And Light Blue is the tiny one in the litter. He was 194 grams when he was born. Now this little guy still needs some help getting to the milk bar, so I do come in regularly and make sure that he has a spot and that he is eating. And we do weigh the puppies daily when they're this age to make sure that nobody's losing weight, make sure everybody's gaining well. If we find there's a puppy that's not really gaining much or isn't gaining at all or even losing, then we weigh that puppy every few hours. And we will then also supplement them by tube feeding if we need to. But I don't think this guy is going to need that. I think he's going to be okay. So that's our little Mr. Light Blue. We'll see if he can find a spot again. Dark Blue is over here, I believe. Are you? Which puppy are you? Are you Dark Blue, I think? Yep. And Dark Blue is the first black puppy. Now again, if you look at a black dog and it's a black Sable, well, you're not going to see a dark line, are you? No, because they're black. However, now if we look at this fellow, I'm sure he's Sable. If you look on our website, if you aren't somebody who's on the reservation list, if you look on our website vanisledoodles.com, go to the Our Dogs page, and if you just hover over each of the pictures, you can ask for just the males. The dog's name will come up. Click on it and take a look at Cloud. Cloud was like this when he was born. He doesn't look anything like this now. But you can see again, we've got some of that smooshing here down around the paws. Sort of vaguely phantom-like, but definitely not phantom. And if we look at his face, around his nose and on the side of his face, you can see it matching here on his paw. Definitely lighter, more sort of a silvery kind of color actually. So to me that tells me that, yeah, this puppy is a Sable, even though I can't see the line down his back. And Mr. Dark Blue Collar was born at 1:47 a.m. and he was 252 grams. So quite a lot bigger than Mr. Light Blue Collar. And then after that we have Green. Now Green Collar is an interesting puppy. So Green is also black, as you can see. Chomping away here. Come here, buddy boy. There we go. Again, you can't tell if there's any line down there. But this puppy, I'm virtually positive, is a real phantom. Now both Sora and Cloud carry for Phantom, so Phantom puppies are possible just like Sable puppies are. So each puppy gets one gene for each set of alleles from each parent. And Sable is AY and Phantom is AT. So both Sora and Cloud are AY/AT. So if they both contribute the AT gene to the puppy's going to be a Sable because both of them have the other necessary gene, which is KY, and they both are double KYs, so they can only contribute a KY to the puppy. So it's if they both contribute an AY, or one contributes an AY and the other an AT, you're going to have a Sable puppy because Sable is dominant over Phantom or any other pattern for that matter. So as long as you just have one AY allele, then you are going to have a Sable dog. This guy I think has AT-AT, KY-KY, and you can see his strum markings. And now why do I think he's different? Well, if you look closely, you'll see he has those phantom chits above his eyes. He has those tan points up there above his eyes. And that for me is almost always the clear indicator of whether a puppy is a Sable or not. Now, I may be proven wrong because Sable is something that is so different and so hard to understand just with your eyes. So we won't know until he's a bit older. Now, I have 2 breeding spots in this litter, and if this guy happened to be a puppy that was selected as a breeding potential boy, then we would test him so that we would know, oh, he is a Sable or he is a Phantom. It's not because we want a Sable or a Phantom one over the other. It's for our information, so when we are putting our puppies together, that we are able to tell our families, oh, this litter is going to be this or this litter is going to be that. But like I said, I'm pretty sure that green color boy here is Phantom. So he was born at 2:50 a.m. and he was 226 grams. So he's not big. But that doesn't mean that he won't become bigger. Their birth weight is not indicative of how large they will be at maturity. Sometimes the smallest puppy becomes the biggest puppy in the litter. So after Green was born, we poked around. So this is what we do. We manipulate in a girl's tummy, and you can feel, once you've got lots of practice, you can feel the heads. And so we poked around, and there was something that gave me a little bit of suspicion, but I thought, no, I'm pretty sure that's not a puppy. I also have a handheld Doppler that I use, and so we always use that on the girl to see if we can find any heartbeats. And when I checked her, there was no heartbeats showing up anywhere. So we were pretty sure that she was all done with 6. 6 was more than what we'd expected because Sora's in wonderful physical condition. Her guardians are very active with her, and they just do such a beautiful job with Sora. So she didn't show very much. Everything was all tucked up there. So to me, 6 seemed like it was reasonable that to expect that she was all finished. So we packed everything up from the bedroom. We came in here, which is our maternity ward. And then we have these whelping boxes already prepared for the moms. And we use these boxes so that they're quite small, but that way the puppies can't go very far or stray away from mom and cause a problem because they can't find mom or they aren't strong enough to get back to mom. So we brought Sora in here, and we're like, oh, that's good. We'll go and catch a couple hours of sleep now. So we went to bed, but I could see on the monitor that Sora wasn't settling well. She was up and walking around, and a couple of times she was right here like she wanted to leave. So I thought, okay, maybe she just has to go to the bathroom. So came and asked her if she wanted to go out. No, that was definitely not what she wanted to do. So I thought, oh, that's fine. I'm just going to sit with her and give her some support. She's been through a lot. It's a new experience. So let's just sit here and get her settled in. And so I was here, and then at 10 to 4 a.m., surprise, we had this puppy over here, Mr. Purple Collar Boy. He came, I was here. I didn't have any of my equipment, so I gave a holler to Reynolds, who came and brought everything for cutting the umbilical cord and a towel to rub them off with, and the bulb that we use to clear their lungs if they have congestion when they're born, which is fairly normal. Hello, baby. Now this guy is a really rich, deep chocolate. Now if you look here, I'm not sure. I don't see a line down his back, but I'm not sure if his chocolate color is so rich because of black striations, which is what I think I'm seeing here. I'm pretty sure that's what we've got going on in this coat here. He hasn't got any of the sort of more traditional types of clues on his face as to whether he's sable or not, except for if you'll notice right here on sort of the bridge of his nose, that is a little bit lighter, and right underneath his eyes here is a little bit lighter too. And his paws all look about the same. There's nothing much there, but I'm pretty sure that these highlights, if you will, and different striations in his coat are actually black, which makes him a chocolate phantom. Yes, it does. It makes you a chocolate phantom. Really pretty little puppy. It was quite a nice little bonus that we had. So he came in at 236 grams, which was a very nice size. Just a lovely size. So that was all the puppies. And once Purple Collar was born, then Sora was like, oh, good. I'm finally glad you caught on that I was still having a puppy. She settled right in, just like she is now. She's just been a pro, doing a great job, eating really, really well, eating a ton. And she's got a good amount of milk for the babies. The milk supply will just continue to increase. She's obviously keeping them spotlessly clean. You can see their coats are all just gleaming. Everybody's happy and healthy. And for the lucky families on this reservation list, you're going to have a really adorable and very unique Labradoodle puppy. If you've got any questions about Labradoodles, feeding, if you're a new breeder and have questions about whelping, or if you want to know something more about Sable, please feel free to just post your question in the comments below. I'm more than happy to help you and answer, and at least hopefully I can help you. If you enjoyed the video and you have a moment, please give us a thumbs up, and we hope that you'll take a minute and subscribe to our channel so that you watch all of our videos from all of our litters plus our educational ones. We try to throw something in there for you to learn about each video that's unique. So we hope you enjoyed today's, and we hope we see you next week. Thanks so much for watching. You're just such a good girl, so wonderful.